And I think the one thing it's been a couple years since I was having a conversation with another woman wiser than I. And it was just, it took this amazing turn where we both realized, maybe she even taught me, Jesus rested.
Yes.
So who are you, really seriously, if you want to just feel not guilt, I'm just saying mild conviction, like maybe not even mild, maybe serious, depending upon where you are in your walk.
Exactly.
Really seriously, who are you if you think you don't need to rest?
Yeah, absolutely.
When the Lord rested, and Jesus took himself away from people he loved.
Absolutely.
From his teaching, from his, ministry, to be alone, to pray, to rest.
Yes.
And so that was kind of another realization if that's modeled to me,
right?
Why me in my human flesh? Why can I do anything different?
Yeah.
You can't.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Absolutely. No. And I think at one point, one Bible study, I remember what I was studying, but it really impressed on me too. When my kids were young, I was reading through and just how needy the disciples were for Jesus, and thinking how needy my kids were, and him still saying, I need to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, yes.
Right.
That is so much needed. My kids need me, but I need to be in God to be what my kids need from me. And this morning, actually, I was reading about just Jesus feasting and partying. Basically, that downtime, that free time, that time when we just kind of let go of all expectations and just have fun with other people, and that community that we build in that, and how necessary is. And the scribes and the Pharisees called him a drunkard and a partier, because he did that. He wasn't following the rules the way the rules were supposed to be followed. And we get so much like the scribes and the Pharisees when we start running our home and our lives from that point
and then
of view.
There's no room for hospitality, which is like, you could kind of make rest and hospitality, they're close cousins, because you're resting by being, I want to have enough white space, so to speak, on my schedule, that if somebody in our circle or a neighbor whom you're supposed to love needs space to come have a cup of coffee.
Right.
I don't want to be so scheduled and unrested that either nobody enjoys being around me because I'm frantic, or B, I'm literally not home. Like maybe I can't take the phone call or open the door, or because that's Christ. Christ modeled he was accessible when he needed to be, or, allowed himself to be, but he also protected his own maybe boundaries. I don't know. Is that weird to say? I suppose it is a boundary to tell the disciples he's stepping away. You'll be okay.
Right.
And that's a really good analogy too, to think about needy disciples and children, because it's true.
It is. It's very
true.
And
I do believe I realized at one point, I'm tired from answering everybody's needs, trying to solve everybody's problems, not only my kids. It could have been extended family. It could have been coworkers.
Right.
I think when you're a caretaker in general, that's very easy to do.
Yes.
But I knew that I was tired and needed rest, but I didn't allow myself that. I also didn't allow myself boundaries, but also I loved these tiny humans in front of me so much that I'm like, I don't want them to learn from my behavior that this is what life looks like. I want them to be more calm and rested and happy and able to protect themselves from people who are boundary bullies, quite frankly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And modeling. Go back to that.